YouTube friends and family, just Christina here. There's a couple of things that I want to tell you. So I'm just going to set you down in the car here and we're going to go for a little drive. I'm in between clients right now, so you'll have to bear with me. But there's some things that I discovered recently that I would like you to be aware of, and it regards the CDC and how the apple doesn't always fall far from the tree. So in the book, To Eliminate the Opiate, we are through the first half of the review, and it gives us the narrative and the platform of the Communist Party. It hailed from these greedy elitists who were basically green-eyed monsters. They were atheists, and they felt that they were above Jesus or above Buddha or any organized God. And part of the group, the Rothschilds and the Schiffs, there was another guy named Bertold Auerbach, and he was hailed as a Jewish revolutionary that was responsible for, quote-unquote, emancipating Judaism. Well, unfortunately, that's a lie, and it's part of the narrative, and he is just one of the guys that was responsible for hijacking the religion to implement the new ideology or the New World Order. And this stems from Plato's three classes: the ruling class, the military, and the working class. But it's not designed to lift up the average man. It's designed to keep everybody down in the same levels of poverty where there is no upper middle class. And, you know, everybody works to make the wealthy continuously wealthy. And they are policed by the military that is run by the wealthy. So knowing this, we also need to understand that Bertold Auerbach ran in those circles, and he was one of these men. Now, if we look into history and we see how the Bund or the Bundestag has been created now, the Bundestag in Germany is like the democracy or the people's platform. But if you look, yeah, there's a few hundred people that make up this total, and they're the ones that are responsible for like picking the chancellor and making the rules, but they are largely an unopposed platform. And so when people disagree with something, you see what's going on right now in Germany with the rioting, the mass upheaval of citizens who are trying to speak out and stand up for their rights, because, you know, they are a democracy, but they are falling. We are a republic, and if we don't understand that and we think we're a democracy, we're ultimately doomed to fail also. So the birthplace of all of this was Frankfurt, Germany, okay? And it started before our Constitution was even ratified. And now I think it's interesting how all this voter fraud equipment, the parent company that makes the voting machines that are responsible for fraudulent voting counts, well, the parent company comes from Frankfurt, Germany, so it's of no surprise to me. And all of these elitists, there's one more thing I want to tell you here, okay? Because Bertold Auerbach, he was one of the people in the 1800s when, under mass exodus of Germany, the Jews came to America. Well, I want to say not Jews, you know, because they brought this new Orthodox form of Judaism here to the United States, but they used it as a guise. It was a ruse, and it wasn't under the original doctrines of Judaism. So they used it largely unhindered, and they implemented this social reform. Well, Bertold Auerbach, all of the Auerbachs in the United States hail from the same family, okay? And Bertold Auerbach is one of those men who was a creator of the Communist Party and the Communist Platform, which came from the Bundegerechten, which came from the League of Outlaws. And again, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but if you go and look at the CDC co-director and the CEO and president of the American Trust for Health, it's none other than John Auerbach. So talking about apples falling from trees and a communist agenda largely at play, that's something that we should be very well aware of. So more on all of this soon. I will have the second half of the book review out, as well as my final comments after that. And that will be out this weekend. Now, another thing that I want to do and share with you is a canning video. I've been canning for 35 years out of necessity, not hobby. And my family has always hunted and canned our own food and made sure that we did it right so it didn't kill us. There's some things you guys need to know about rice. If you're a prepper that does nothing but rice, you're probably going to die. Rice is an empty carb. It's very bad for you. It's the worst starch out there. And it has no nutritional value. But also there's bacteria in rice that can grow. It's odorless and colorless, similar to botulism, but it's a rice bacteria. You can't always cook it out. And so you run the risk of killing yourself if you don't store your rice properly. So I would shy away from rice. I mean, you're better off storing mashed potato flakes than rice. So I'll do another video on canning too, because there's some other things like fruits. You shouldn't eat fruit beyond the expiration date. It can also kill you. And botulism is one of those odorless, colorless toxins. It's a brain-eating disease, and about 400 or 500 people a year die from it, but it is preventable. So I want to share some canning tips and tricks with you. I also want to show you how simple it is to do a small-scale kitchen operation where you don't have to have a giant canning kettle. So if you're interested in learning something and doing it small, I'll be sharing that video. Now, some canned goods also, like some meats, if they're stored correctly, they can last up to 10 years beyond the expiration date. So we'll go over all of this soon as well. And if you have more information, please share, because when I found out the Auerbach lineage and who is in control of the CDC narrative right now, it just makes me shake my head, but I'm not surprised. All right, you guys have a really great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.